I wonder if there's any consequences. Middle-earth Shadow of War is a game with a confusing title. Middle-earth Shadow of War is a game all about collecting artifacts and reading about geography and listening to very well thought out dialogue.
Ranger from the Black Gates. I thought you were all dead.
You heard the truth.
Actually, the dynamically generated Gondorians are more interesting than the actual Gondorians. You know, like Castamere. Idril, the Romans option that existed for 5 minutes before the dead remembered that we're kind of stuck in the Lord Darby because of our dead family. Also major pass. Broken North School, Sheolobism, and the other guys, oh wait, they actually have names. I mean even descriptions. I was a bit no one can name any of these guys. And in this game we play as Talion, again, nice kid, on a mission to avenge his dead family and defeat Sauron, again. Except the story is less important, and yet bigger and more important. Like, we went from someplace at the border with those whatever dudes single-handedly taking over Mordor, and yet I don't really care about the story. Also, Talion kinda sucks. All characters suck, except for Brokenor. In fact, the only interesting character is an a-hole with a stick up his ass. You know, I'll be real, guys. I'm struggling to remember why I 100% the game over 100% on console, because this sucks.
You look soft. Soft and comfortable.
Okay, now I remember. Well, there was saying all good character might be less interesting than watching potato grow in real time. But no, it is interesting. Borderlands. They're mean, they're a shade of green, they love beer, they hate nature, they hate beef, and most importantly,
I've hunted all manner of beasts across these lands, but today I will spear a human.
now what kind of village do we get? Well, we got the basic ones with 4 different types of weapons. One's a basic sword boy, basically a tutorial enemy. Berserk with 2 actions that can cancel all frontal attacks. Defender that can block any frontal attack, including elemental. Archers, pretty straightforward. And hunters, that are archers but closer and deal more damage to creatures. We'll get to those in a second. But yeah, that's all there is. Unless I'm forgetting something, hold on. You can find orcs everywhere. By the camps, walking around, trying to tame a Caragor, boss around their own brethren, sitting around a campfire, at the 7-Eleven, they're everywhere. Which is good because... how do we deal with them? Well, the same way as with everything else. We got the stab, the big stab, range stab, stealth stab, and more. I don't remember to use this. Never mind, I forgot about this even more. The handheld fire, poison, frost, and its range equivalent. Range stab, but stab. There's not the variant that turns the stab into a white band owner. Summoning your boys, gravity, sucking out their souls, popping their heads. Some chill out joke. One of the other 500 abilities we got. We're calling over Mother Nature. Either by destroying their nests or destroying fireplaces, we can call them spiders, ghouls, carradors, graugs, all the dragons. Did I mention the dragons? Oh, but what if I get tired of... First of all, no. Second of all, well, have I got news for you, buddy? Because the devs realized that perhaps wasn't enough and you need to release even more of your pencil bridge. So that's why we got captains.
Oh, my master, you gotta come through me. And you're not coming through me. Should we cut you up? Smash you? Stab you? I can't decide. We'll just have to do it all.
Are we going to threaten to kill him or kill him?
You look like if King Kong fucked an albino and outshited out a steroid incarnate. What are you? Also, what's he got on his back? Is that a propane tank?
Everything I just said but with a health bar. They're mean, they're hairy, they're the same shade of green, unless they're not. They hate EVs, half of their introductions are sexual harassment at best, and they certainly do not eat their greens. They follow the same weapon class before, but with a few caveats. Sure, they got stronger strike that you can't really block, and the Ologs might have flamethrowers. Did I mention the flamethrowers? But for some reason, the archer was able to block or beat a sword blows with just their mechanical stick, and some of the hunters can do the same with an actual stick. Other than that, just hit them with the old 1-2. Is that everything that there is to these creatures? Yes. Middle-earth Shadow of War. A level 68 track archer, but because you asked so nicely, the devs decided to add more than flamethrowers and formalities. We also got this cool thing called the strengths and weaknesses, and then I suppose the nemesis system. Also we got... Now the strengths and weaknesses are pretty self-explanatory. When you first encounter some dude, you will get a name and his strengths. They're split into 4 sections. Immunities. I hope you don't entirely rely on one form of attack because guess what, buckaroo? hates. I hope you weren't planning on grabbing this dude when he's low or not being spammed repeatedly with attacks, because guess what? This guy got angry because his mom didn't make pancakes for breakfast. But for real, there's so many things that can send an Urk into a rage stance. We're talking hatred of something as simple as killing any creature, or when you the player take out his grunts, something that literally handicaps you, such as being angry when you vault over them, use a certain element or move on them, or, you know, becoming angry because you attacked his blood brother, or just seeing one of several creatures, or just, you know, everything. Traits. Okay, this is gonna be a long one, so listen up. Most of these will be simply can ride beast, has an elemental weapon, has grenades and bombs that carry over the captain's weapon element, has one type of grunt, can't be broken, can call him backup, including a banner orc whose banner ranges everyone around it, blah blah, necromancers. But then there are also the more rarer traits like increasing elemental damage taken and dealt, increased HP, increased damage dealt, rapid HP regeneration. And then we got the classes and tribes. Yeah, you heard that last part correctly. Remember the 5 types of orcs I mentioned? Well, now we also got captain unique variants. Assassins, dodges, balls, throwing knives, beastmasters, name speaks for itself. Berserker, get ready to be WWE'd or at least watch over the flying axes. Destroyers, did someone say boom? Marksman, I hope you don't hit snipers with explosive arrows. Slayer, what's the difference between a berserker and a slayer? Well, a slayer would just cut you up instead of beating you down. Tank, guess. Trackers, already waiting outside your house. Trickster, decoys and smoke bombs. Now we got the tribes. Apart from the visual effects in each of their forts having their own themes, for us, all we need to know is that their correlation tribe leader will give them blades, claws, a hook, dual-wielding crossbows, the ass slicer, deranged melee weapon, and a snug wolf for struggle, along with everything else. I hope you're listening because I forgot to mention, there will be a test at the end. But oh boy, this sounds a bit intense, and that's before you piece together the sense that Savage and a defender who can only be hurt from the back, but who can be immune to being hit in the back. Well, that's where the weaknesses part comes in. Just remember to suck out someone's soul first. Mortal weaknesses. Either they will piss their pants and run away, or you can kill them in one hit. Vulnerabilities. Being stabbed is painful. Dazed. Instead of running away, they'll just sit there with a headache for a minute. Hint. Short version. No two captains are the same. Yes, some are cool enough to where they get a special introduction, and meanwhile some seemingly basic dude so powerful that he breaks reality. The Nemesis system is the second best thing about this game, right behind. The Nemesis system is a system which generates new stories based on your previous encounters with orcs. Whatever that means. What that means is, say we got killed by a grunt. That grunt will level up to be a captain, and next time you find him, they won't give you a basic yada yada I'ma kill you, but will actually respond to the fact that either you're alive again, or that they killed you, or that you're back for revenge. And this carries over to some mission specific situations, such as when they're being attacked and then you intervene, or when they find you riding a beast, or when you attack them first with a stealth or ranged attack. I shudder to think of how many hours one was put into the game to find every single variant of a Urk possible. I could name several titles in unique combinations just from my own time playing this game, but that could be an entire 5-minute long chapter, so instead here's a long line of text you won't read. The point is, there are just so many times I completely forgot about the Painbringer, and he's about as guaranteed as that two-headed troll. Go on YouTube and look at this game, you'll have 3 results. One is people complaining about the devs patenting the Nemesis system but refusing to make a third game. The second is a few actual videos of the game, but the rest will be a tale of, I trained a 19th century Victorian factory child Urk of 5 months into a berserker with 15 axes, who became the overlord of the moon after he killed God. Like, bro, no one cares. That's like the minimum to become a level 20 captain, and the levels go up to 80. I personally know like 4 guys that did it on Saturday IRL. Then you remember that there's the scripted ones, like the Bard or Poet, the one who took the armor to do from the previous game, the 2 always that randomly appear after you killed Bruce, the Poison or Treasure Hoard that only appear after poisoning Grog or collecting loot. Heck, for all I know, the ones that love ghouls probably have a high chance of appearing if you attack ghouls. Which now that I think about is probably a thing, because you can summon a spider level by using the summon spider ability. But there's also the ones who come back from death. We thought him. Was it enough? Well, most of the time it is. Oh, what's that? You cut up a guy into 70 bits and ate him? Nah, don't worry, he just comes back with a little stitch on his level up. He's good to go. Also, if you kill a guy with a certain move or element, there's a fair chance they're not immune to that, so get ready for that. Heck, even better is the fact that there's a fair chance the very first guy to come back from professional hemocorporectomy will come back as the Machine. And this may be your first legendary captain outside of mission, so have fun. Just as much fun as the very first grunt killing you and claiming the title Tark Slayer. Of course, the more rare ones get their own unique visuals, but I'm tired of talking and I need to. Now in case this seems scary, don't worry. This was made by the same people as Shadow of Mordor, and that game was piss easy. Heck, I played on normal difficulty and I came close to death once. Besides, you always get cheesy like running away and repeating your stealth attacks or refilling your arrows. You can always reset the freeze cooldown as well. One way or the other, ever engaging with these guys tends to end up with a... I mean, what are they gonna do? Just ignore your attack?
Don't look on me anymore!
So apparently the devs took notice of how easy the first game was and said, okay, we'll give you a masochistic difficulty setting. So now the majority of the Shadow of Mordor players finally gets to go above easy and normal difficulty, will look something like... Then go up to hard difficulty, where for the first time, all of us were introduced to a unique mechanic and cutscene called
I'm no gruntling ranger, and now you know it.
So now we have a difficulty where our health bar actually matters, as well as an even higher difficulty which goes just about as well as you think. Oh well, then just ignore them. Honestly, fair. Not the worst strategy I've ever heard, but there are 3 problems. 1. We only gain gear and XP by defeating captains. 2. Sometimes the captains find you instead of you finding them, especially if you kill the blood brother of theirs. So don't be surprised if you're fighting one guy on a roof and then you get ambushed by one of these units. And then a second one right after. 3. Some of these captains might be bodyguards to war chiefs.
It is clear that you seek to be killed by the Blood Axe. Very well. I will ensure it drinks deeply from your heart today.
And those war chiefs protect the forts of the 4 regions, and their own overlords. And trust me, if there is a fight I wish I could avoid, then it's the overlord fights. That is, of course, if we even make it to the overlords, because these forts got some major defenses. I mean, come on, we got a giant fort filled with green meanies, the overlord, the fort's war chief that may have bodyguards, and the upgrades these war chiefs brings, like a ground-mounted flaming catapult, or flame archers. Like, who is insane enough in Mordor to challenge this? We got 4 forces to take over. Why not mention us taking over the whole of Mordor all on our own earlier? Bro, look at the story went down a cliff after the second cutscene. I literally couldn't care any less about anyone who isn't a Nuruk, or, you know, the spawn saint. He was cool. Not as cool as the homie chick. Nearly number of times when Italian miscrapped love interest number 2.
You killed me.
And yet you live.
By having her stab him. And the douche turned out to be an even bigger douche than ever before. Also Casimir's death. But yeah, the final fight is against Sauron himself. End of story. Also, the Nazgul fights suck because of how long they were, and their monologues were so long I could have probably wrote the script before they were done. Dope armor though. Anyways, running around looking for orcs is more fun and more challenging. Wait, didn't I have a fort to take over? Right, the fortress, I forgot. Sorry, I was having too much fun playing the game, and not caring about the story. So we gotta single-handedly defeat the evil lord and his armies. How do we do that against an enemy with infinite numbers? Well, duh, this is the Lord of the Rings, not the Lord of the Ring. Time for some mind breaking.
What do you mean by that?
Remember the section about strengths and weaknesses? Yeah, well guess what? It's entirely possible to find a guy afraid of fire and a guy who has a fire weapon. Why is this important if the warriors just walk around all the time never doing anything? Well, because they don't do just that. See, there are missions on the map ranging from some dude getting into a fight, translating down into a tribe, executing someone, raiding their outpost, or just going on hunt. Some of which are led by your guys in blue. And remember to suck out someone's soul to find out whether or not they are fairly intolerant to lactose and or steel. And if you get too tired, then just find one guy with 0 weakness, 0 strength, and get him down to low HP and... Remember, there's gonna be another test. Or worst case scenario, just go for the guy with the coolest name, like the aforementioned Machine, or something like the Weapons Master, or the Mountain, or the Dragon Slayer, or something like that. I got a pretty good team over in Saragoth. My first recruits there were Mr. Giggles, and a drunk guy.
What's going on? We both want to kill each other. So one of us will be dead, and I think it will be me. That kills you!
Another guy that comes to mind is that whiner, Zog.
I am Zog.
And the Uruk, the myth, the legend, Jeff.
Look upon this orc. He wants to kill you, and I'm going to help him.
Also the homie chief. There was even a guy who the Overlord sent just to tell me that the Overlord was going to kill me. I let him go, he was cool. I then recruited him afterwards. Or just get them from the loot boxes gained from in-game progression. Now you got a boy, and you can even send some of them into pit fights, if you hate yourself for some reason. Because the AI fights in this game are the most bland things ever up until the very last scene where someone gets gutted in half. And the fight pits are that but even worse. Although, guess who's got access to more unique execution animations? Wait, hold on, I think I was supposed to do something with you guys apart from mildly killing orcs. The forts are pretty self-explanatory, except for the dragon locked in cages being used as living flamethrowers. Did I mention the dragons being used as living flamethrowers? If you want to weaken the fort, then you're always free to take on the war chiefs one by one. And if that ends up being too difficult, then you can always...
Now, boys, we have a new victim for the Bright Lord.
And then if you're willing to stomach the thing, which should have been dope but ends up being a million times more boring than you would think, then you can even place your guys as spy war chiefs for yourself. Other than that, it comes with the added bonus of... Just make sure the Overlord doesn't find the spies.
Hang on a minute, we didn't have a spy here.
Anyways... The Overlord fights don't actually suck, I just have PTSD from the console days. Probably don't get something like Defender, Berserker, Range Captain who is immune to vaulting and range attacks. And as a reminder, Defenders can block any elemental attack from the front. But even if someone is immune to range attacks but not immune to, say, poison, you can do the ranged poison attacks, still hurt them that way. Other than that, pray get someone who can be dazed by simply shooting them in the head or something simple. Although, there is one thing you could possibly do. Honestly, some of these guys are absolute game changers. Like, it's all like with a flamethrower. Did I mention he has a flamethrower? Like, he's so good that there's a little unit snuck up on a guy on top of a Carrigal. Literally, why didn't Tolkien just do this instead? Like, who cares about the whatever of the whatever? Like, goddamn, where would I be without you?
You are powerful leader. Help make me stronger. Now I think I am more powerful than you. Really gets to you I betrayed you. Worth it just for that.
Also, you can dominate creatures, so you can get Garagors, Grau, Dragons that spew fire, Wooden Dragons that spew fire. Did I mention the Wooden Dragons that spew fire? Also, while here, here's a fun thing I never knew. That Garrison button down there in the main menu? Yeah, there were some microtransaction problems back then. Point is, you're not going to train your heroics every time. You can just pay all of your required money to do this instead. You can come to trade some more. Not that you won't be broke in 5 minutes, but hey, you know how you get more money? Boy, this game's combat's pretty dope and I'm having good fun just going around defeating these guys. I sure do hope the DLC keeps this up but fixes the somehow mediocre story of a world-saving hero by being every girl's sugar daddy with zero benefits.
There's shit everywhere! Damn it! There's shit on the windows! Oh my god! My house is full of shit! He shit everywhere! Look what he did! He shit all over the wall!
I said better, not worse in all regards. Okay, so instead of playing as Talion, the guy you were classmates with 10 years ago that you barely ever noticed, we get to play as Blades of Galadriel instead. The only good parts are seeing her get her fingers cut off and everything not to do with her. Can we get a redo where Talion just offs her head right at the start? The guy went from fighting around with a longsword or bow to two little daggers that are just powerful because Yas Queen and throwing knives that inflict brightness on the enemy until they die. Boy, what a DLC. Okay, let me get this straight. So even after this reincarnation of that girl no race wanted to take responsibility of betrays Talion, and he forgives her, she's still a douche, and after being given the most powerful artifact in the world and told to save Talion's armies, who got mega nerfed because Yas Queen or something, she instead goes, oh, but like, I don't wanna, like, it's so fun, like, I just got my nails, and I was like, no, I wouldn't be right, I just got my hair done, I have a headache. Instead of having her do anything, they just give her an orc army for free because Yas Queen, and then she single-handedly does that, which Talion could absolutely do, but he doesn't because the writers all want to get blown by the only girl in the company or something. No, seriously, how do they let this slide? The character's even worse than before, and the only good part, the combat, is straight up headache-inducing. Like, we went from some rather cool combat to a DLC which is so short that 1, you will level up, don't worry about it. 2, stick with the starting gear. 3, don't do any of the side missions, please. 4, don't go for insult or any collectibles, because why, and boom, DLC done. Like, seriously, how does a girl have just as much strength as time with a longsword? She's throwing these guys like it's nothing. Oh yeah, the whole line mechanic is so cool, guys. Play Blades of Galadriel, it's peak. Blades of Galadriel gameplay. Look, you know it's bad when the DLC's only achievements are do the campaign missions and use your ability. Yeah, the other one is something similar, but guess what? It's an actual challenge. In fact, the moment I realized that the last achievement was to actually do all those crappy side fights, I unironically got disappointed before I went back and realized that 1, you hear one you've heard of the others already. 2, there are only 3 types of fights consisting of 1, he's got so many resistance that you just mash attack on him 20% for 3 minutes straight. 2, he's got so many resistance you can only mash 1 key. 3, he's got so many resistance that you can't actually damage him. And that's when you realize that the orc you were given for free was probably because the devs let the game tester in late and only then they realized that these guys are literally unkillable and I'm on normal difficulty. Wanna know something funny? The few guys that actually have weaknesses? You already know them because they're mission specific. Do yourself a favor and go on easy difficulty to get through this and never come back because this DLC sucks. Well, call me whatever. I know I'm not the biggest fan of several DLCs I've played, but honest to God, I can at least say, now I know. And I know the bit about ratings not being intelligible, but for 15 bucks, Blades of Galadriel, 2 out of 10, don't get this DLC. And if it's cheaper to get the whole bundle with it, then just go on easy and speedrun this, but only if you care about the achievements. The only thing that makes this DLC unfortunately worthwhile is the orcs. Now the best ones in vanilla come from the Nemesis system, apart from the Homie Chief. But these guys?
Meet the Bone Shaker!
Boy, someone give me a frame of this beautiful gentleman and put it on my desk first thing tomorrow morning.
You did great work here today, and with my archers gone, I'm going to need protection. I don't pay much, but you'll have no shortage of glory. Consider yourself hired.
Don't care about the sniper or the assassin or the simp. Completely forgot about the Ragnar file. But don't forget the...
Tinder, did you hear it? It was Boots! Glorious Boots! Who did this? Come on! Let's make things go boom together!
Also, do you think we wouldn't cheer for Talion just because he's now one of the bad guys? Dark Lord, Bright Lord? Start the DLC and escape and look at this Drip Lord. I don't have much respect for a base game Talion, but this Talion right here knows what's up. Kind of like...
Baranor the Worm Herder.
No.
A Baranor the Disarming.
Very clever.
A Baranor the Dwarf Friend.
I don't know about friend.
Baranor the Man-Bird.
Definitely not.
Baranor the Conqueror.
Oh, that's not bad.
How the hell did Brokenor get to the other side of Mordor, and wasn't he running away with his new girlfriend? Also, is he supposed to not die? Welcome to Paris. It's got greenies, meanies, sand dunes, and mercenarinis. Also, we got a fort to take over. One problem. Brokenor here doesn't have a ring of power, so he can't build an orc army. Second problem. He's invincible. If you die, you get sent back to the start. And if you think that's what the best defense, then boy, do I got news for you. To attack the fort, not only do we need an army, but we also need to take over all the outposts. That's slightly difficult because we're Brokenor, and at the same time, we're not going to get anything done until we deal with the whole broke problem. Which means, it's time for Gondor's favorite game show. Pim! Ma! Dog! Is this TOS? Alright, what we got today is Shorter Rome. Alright, check this out. My man's name is Brokenor. Good start. Man's so poor that he don't even got enough dough for the government to waste their time showing him his bank balance or credit rating. So he has to get his mom to sell it and mail it to him. God damn. The one girl he likes seems to have left him for an NPC. That's worse than me. He's got no whip. In fact, he can't even get one. Should have called Pimp My Ride. That is what we originally planned for this section. And my man's gotta take over an entire fortress. Alright, it's bleak and hopeless, but it ain't over just yet. What? Alright, first step. You gotta stack up some basic gear. We gotta stack up some base stats. Some combat damage, some defense, some focus, and a haircut. Alright, now let's get specific. We're gonna give him the John David Washington straighten out look. No suit, no tie, no wine. Cool. What then? Nothing. He's ready. Hey yo, Middenor. That guy over there said you got the hair of a dirt bike track.
But surviving an error? Well, that's a cut above. Those flames, you'll go up to the roof and try again.
My man came in as Brokenor and left as Dopenor. He came in as short on Doenor and went out as Goldenor. He walled up like Porinor and he went out as Broke Your Nosenor. Desolation of Mordor. Drippenor, the stacker of drip, out of a Drip Lord. If only we had the drip stack in the base game as well. Keep the parachute, but pass out that flame shield and grenade launcher in your sleeve. Middle of Shadow of War. A level 68 track archer with a fear chihuahua is out of a Blackhawk. One of the few games where I'm almost willing to say it's a 100% improvement on the old one. The combat's great, the story's crap, the dragons are cool, the flamethrowers are cool. The only thing there's a Nuruk is cool, the rest I don't really care about. The devs are still not gonna make a third game, so don't even try. I can barely call it a nowhere line after getting the ring because I just got the ring. The 4 conquests are cool apart from the Overlord part, but hey, that's what intelligence is for. And the online conquests can give you the intel from the start, so you can pick and choose. The gear is kind of meh because some legendary sets are worth it, but I ain't got time for that. Just give me a sword that gives cancer, a blade that sets them on fire, a bow that gives them gonorrhea, a chest piece that sets them on fire, and a ring that reduces global warming, and I'm good. Enemy resistance or rages towards these elements be damned. Thank God they finally added a difficulty modifier. Doubt I'll ever try to complete the game in the hardest mode, but hey, who knows. Maybe if the Nazis will finish their sentences before I finish my degree and I haven't expired yet, then I can try. Let's deal with that death-defying BS that gives them back somewhere between a bit to all of their HP. Don't worry, there are still fine reasons to rage at this game, but all it takes is one good... to forget all of that. Plus the combat is quite fun. Now is it as fun as the wrestling match between the tree giant and Spawn Sane? Well, first of all, no, do you hear what I just said? And second of all, that's a bad example because that's a tree versus fire. Also the dragon. Did I mention the tree dragon that breathes ice taking out the Spawn Sane? Oh, and if anyone comes in here saying, oh, but violence isn't the answer, yeah, tell me that after you get one of these. The sword don't discriminate, it eliminates. I wish they let the combat system guys try to do something about the story because I don't really care. But hey, it only took 2 games, but at least Talion can finally rest in peace and... Nah, I'm just kidding, this dude's stuck in infinite purgatory of... Also, remember to get the ability that makes it so you can do... if you get hit in a game all about being hit while being outnumbered. Other than that, Talion is cool and I really like his character development and... Nah, I'm just messing with you, what did they do to my boy? This dude could take out any nation he wanted to on his own and here he's being cuddled by a spider shortly before he passes away from blood loss. Only plus point is that he did stare down this and say, you never know until you try. Other than that, the people are great.
Be my pleasure.
The orcs, I mean, I don't care about humanity. Unlike...
Zog! Zog! Zog!
But on the plus side, there's a lot of times we try 100% the game. Most are basic, a few can be held by looking up a tip. There are a few which might take a few hours or a few months. Where the hell is this one mine entrance to this single collectible? Some definitely need a bit of a tip, and some still give me PTSD from when I did it years ago, and I will mention the DLC ones. Except the Barrel Gold Ranking one, which is a unique challenge. Or just play the game generally and then go and talk to your friends about that time you went to go on a stealth attack on JFK. But on the way you found Vanilla Ice, so you decided to battle him instead. But then halfway through the fight you ravaged by his blood brother, Vanilla Rice! Or by the time you were defending a fort and one of your mates died. So you went on about a 20-minute journey to find a new one. Finally found a worthy contender.
Pick up a lot of that stuff, do you? There was a time when I was interested in that sort of thing, collecting odd bits and that. But then after a while I had to ask myself, what's the point? And I'd ask you the same question. Oh, and I'd also kill you.
And right then you get a call from the back, and your captain is back from the dead. Pissed that you probably didn't even care that I died. And then finishes off with, but I would have done the same for your death, so it's cool. Now put me back in the fight. Now get off your couch and cross the continent seconds with the starting control layout. Because memorizing that shift is crouch and space is sprint is easier than trying to change any of the 500 controls. Get off your ass and on a dragon, then on an O-log, and then finish off the day with a quick... And get sad about the fact that we may never see a third game. And go and find all the missed voice lines you never found. Then wonder why no one's made a video about these executions except they did and now your Friday night is planned out. And then wonder why there isn't a list of every single type of work possible and find just a few videos showcasing the 10 types you never found and realize that maybe that was a stupid idea. Just like blades of increasing global rates of ED. Now get out there and save Middle-earth. And I forgot to get a thumbnail for this video. Hang on, give me a second. I just need to quickly get some might. Okay, I need a little bit of might. Yeah, this isn't really gonna work. I can't really get enough of these guys to get, an execution. Let's find a bigger pool of dirt. Okay, let's see. That wasn't the one I wanted. That wasn't the one I wanted. Who are you? Oh great, can't be damaged by range size, can't be vaulted over, can't frost him. Man, this game is so good. I love this game. No, Italian, I don't want him. I want one of the grunts. Oh, for Christ. Oh, that could have actually been a good one. No. Okay, just give me one semi. Okay, this one. Okay, let's see here. Set anchor. Nah, this is the zoom in's a little bit hard. Hang on, I just need to. But he's also way bigger, so I can't do like a frontal shot. I need to do like a sideways upwards and. Yeah, sure, whatever this will do. Save.